I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test, part 66, the restoration part 3, that is on the page 30. So, and right now we're talking about the habeas corpus act. Now let's start the complicated way around. Habeas corpus is Latin and it means something like you must present the person in court. I guess no one understands it if they don't understand the habeas corpus act before I had explained what it means in Latin. So you must present the person in court. Now another sentence, one later, tells us a bit more. Every prisoner has the right to a court hearing. I guess that is all what we have to know. I see many different interpretation ways to you must present the person in court. And also the other sentence, the act guaranteed that no one could be held prisoner unlawfully, does not explain the habeas corpus act. So we're taking two things, now from multiple things, but we're taking two explanations for habeas corpus. Let's take through three. The person must be present at court. That's the first one, a bit vague, but let's take that. No, let's not take that, because the third one is every prisoner has a right to a court hearing. So we don't know if every person has to be in front of court, if they are sued or something. Every prisoner has the right to a court hearing, and no one can be held prisoner without a law saying so without that it is unlawfully. And that is all in the Habeas Corpus Act, which was written in 1679, and it was important and it is still relevant today, and it means in Latin something like you must present the person in court. After examining the total explanation and still not understanding it, and we have totally understood the explanation, but we still don't understand what is explained. When we're going to what is written here in the quotes, and that is just the same as is here, but that is the important thing we should know. So maybe that indicates us what of these things are now the one we should take away from this. Habeas corpus is Latin. So congratulations, we are getting another translation into other words which we don't understand. You must present the person in court. What does that mean? Do I have to present another person? So I said it in the last part. Does the lawyer have to present the other person? But the person doesn't even have to be there. Just present the other person. The other person doesn't have to be even there. You must present the person in court. Or does that mean, is it in a political sense? You must present you as a person. You must present the person in court. So is that meant the person who is accused has to present itself in front of court. That would also mean that the person has to do it, and it would indicate that there is no law in between, but the person has to defend themselves. Furthermore, does that mean that the person has to make a defense, so has the person to say something because there's freedom of speech and stuff like that? Maybe we will know more about the courts, but the second sentence here, the act guaranteed that no one could be held prisoner unlawfully. They mean, yes, that explains a little bit if they end with it. No one could be held prisoner unlawfully if they end with it. That means no prisoner, they mean after the judgment has fell. So they mean that persons can be taken as a prisoner or as a prisoner, but then there has to become. How does an act which says you must present the person in court guarantee that no one can be held prisoner unlawfully? Now we have to be present, so they can't be abroad if they are there in person. Now they can't be held prisoner if they are abroad. So what does the Habeas Corpus Act actually help? If a person can only... I'm getting the suspicion that the Habeas Corpus Act is a bit longer than just one sentence, but they are explaining from time to time another thing, and they are more or less unrelated, these things which are explaining here, and we are trying to understand them more or less all together. In other words, one of the most important things of the past and the present, of one of the most important aspects of life, do we not understand even when we completely understand the explanation. Let's start with a bit standing yoga. having the feet standing together, and we're breathing in and lifting the arms up. We're just going to read it again later. Maybe you will understand, maybe we're just on the wrong path. We're lifting the hands up, and we're breathing out and letting the arms down. And we're breathing in again and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and again down. And breathe in and lift the arms up. Close the hands. And open another time. Go down. And now breathe in. Close the hands. And out. And open the chest to the sky. Lower the arms and open the chest to the sky. And breathe in. Lift the arms up. And out. And we're going again down with the arms and we're opening the chest to the sky. Now breathe in and lift the arms again up. Close the hands. And breathe out. And bring. And lean back. And bring in. Again to the middle. And out and bringing back. And breathing in into the middle. And out and bringing the arms down. Let's do a triangle. The toes are pointing forward, these toes are pointing to the direction. Breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out, we're shifting forward with the upper part of the body. We are breathing out. We're coming down, taking hold onto the leg and looking up to the leg. And breathe in. And out, back at start position. Change the position of the feet. So in this direction of the feet. The heels in one line or something like that. And we're breathing in. And we're breathing out, we're shifting just with the upper part of the body in front. And we're taking hold onto the leg and looking up to the head. We're breathing in. And out back into the middle. And we're also triangle. The clock died, but I have another one. We have 7 minutes left. We are exactly half. The Habeas Corpus Act became law in 1679. This was a very important piece of legislation which remains relevant today. Habeas corpus is Latin for "you must present the person in court." The Act guaranteed that no one could be held prisoner unlawfully. Every prisoner has a right to a court hearing. I know what is meant. That is not directed to the accused person, nor the law or something. That is meant to the lawmakers, or the court itself. The judges are meant. Not even the accusing person, but the state is meant, the government is meant, the country is meant. And that means that the country is not allowed to put the person into prison without that the person has been present in front of court. I'm pretty sure that is right. But how many people will understand that from that text? I needed multiple starts, and I have at least something that is right, and that sounds right. And I'm going to listen to that recording, what I just said, if it maybe is a way to explain it in one sentence, which everyone understands, maybe even in the first try. Charles II was interested in science. During his reign, we don't have that much time left. Let's do yoga now for the end, so we will now do mostly yoga, so that we can do a fourth part, I guess, to the restoration, and go another time about the habeas corpus, and have some time left to go over the 2-3 other chapters, which we go quite fast over. We don't know all the details. Details. I can't pronounce it anymore. We are doing the chair. We're having an inch of space left between our toes. And we're breathing in and we are bringing the arms up. And we're breathing out and we're coming up onto the toes. We're breathing in. And we're breathing out and we're sinking down into the chair, and we keep standing during the whole chair exercise on our tiptoes. And we're breathing in, coming again up. And out again, down into the chair. And another time we're breathing in, coming up. And out, last time down into the chair. And we're breathing in, coming up. Breathing out, the arms down, and the heels. And we come to the sun god. We're having now the legs standing more shoulder wide apart. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and sinking down into the sun god. And we're breathing in and coming up. And out into the sun god. And we're breathing in, come up and pretend to lift up a heavy weight. And out, back into the sun god. Now coming up, 1 foot on tiptoe. Down again. Now the other one up onto tiptoe. Down again. And down both. And coming up, again, stand up a heavy weight, breathe in. And out, back to the sun god. And another time. Up, stand something heavy up. And out into the sun god. And now we're coming up. Breathing out. And we're going down onto the heels. And the last exercise. We're having one last little space between our heels. We're breathing in, lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out, and we're coming down, and we're placing the elbows against the inside of the knees. And breathe in and straighten the back. And out and come the back up. And breathe in. And out back in the banana pose. And breathe in and straighten up the back. And out again, the back up. And we get in. And down out. And we're breathing in. And out, we're coming up slowly in one straight line. Now we're closing our feet. And we're breathing again in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out into the down diving swan. Now breathe in and open the right arm and stretch the right arm to the sky, and also look over the right shoulder up to the sky. Breathe in and take the arm again in. And breathe out. Now open the left arm to the sky and look over the left shoulder up to the sky. And breathe in, take the arm again in. And breathe out, come halfway up with a straight back into monkey half lift. And breathe again in and go down. And breathe out a second and last time into monkey half lift. Again in and down. And breathe out to the up diving swan. Close the hands and breathe out. We're having a minute left. So let's just read it again. The habeas corpus act became law in 1679. This was a very important piece of legislation which remains relevant today. Habeas corpus is Latin for "you must present the person in court." The act guaranteed that no one could be held prisoner unlawfully. Every prisoner has a right to a court hearing. I will continue to understand it in that way because I'm pretty sure that that is right, even if that Habeas Corpus Act doesn't say it. And I'm pretty sure that the Habeas Corpus Act says something similar, which has the same consequences. So we will keep it with it, but we will go over it another time in the next part. So now I thank you very much, and until the next part.